got the Mark 18. They provided it to me. I am straight up affiliated. Promo code down, link below in the bios. Looks good. Everything's good. All right, so I'm gonna piggyback off the last video. People do often ask, why do you have so much stuff on your gun, or what is the purpose of all this stuff? So I'm gonna go over what I have, why I have it, and should you have it. All right, so first things first, this is a factory SBR Daniel Defense Mark 18. All right, there's nothing in it that is not what it came with from the factory internally. Okay, externally it has some stuff, yes. All right, as always ensure your weapon's clean when you're not prepared to engage. All right, so I'm gonna go from butt to muzzle. All right, I did change the buttstock out to a B5 Bravo. I'm not big on my rifles or carbines having a huge cheek hold or cheek well. I just put this little subtle one right here. As you can see, it's not too aggressive, but just enough where I got slight contact, so I'm always in the exact same placement. I've been running the Vickers or the Blue Force slings for, I don't know, 2 decades now. As you see, it's always on your non-dominant hand on the outside of it, okay? What that enables you to do is when you have the weapon slung, right, if you go to transition to your other side, you don't choke yourself out. You have a little bit of extra leeway. So that's the purpose of that. All right, then I move forward. I have the stock charging handle, okay? And then we got stock bolt, stock ambi, stock trigger. Everything on it is stock internally. Now this is the EOTech EXPS3, and I do the -2 model. It has additional dot inside of it. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it. All right, I've ran EOTech since we got the 231s, which I think that was 2007 or 2008 is whenever they started getting fielded, like across the battalions or whatever you want to call it. This right here is a CZ Scorpion, just a hand stop. What I use it for is an index point. So I know every single time when my non-dominant hand gets on here, it's in the exact same spot every time. All I got to do is get underneath the hook and pull my hand back, and it's in the exact same spot every single time. All right, we got a PEC 15. It's visible, infrared, all that fancy stuff. I think the proper term is ATPIL or whatever. It is a full power because I do run dual tube nods. I got the DT NVGs, L3 tubes, and then the typical fancy stuff that everyone runs. Now this is something that I recently switched to. It is the Surefire Vampire. Now I very rarely use white light. When I do use it, I'm probably putting chickens away, or I heard a noise outside and the wife's like, why are the dogs barking weird? So I'll come out there and then I'll use the white light. But the big thing for me is I can leave it in the middle setting, which is off, or I can go all the way clockwise into the infrared setting, which is really helpful for nods because it's a really bright infrared that I can light up my entire pasture or into the entire wood line to see stuff that I couldn't even see before. Even whenever I have a whole lot of lume or I don't have a whole lot of lume, it's freaking handy. How often I use it is, I don't know. I don't use it enough to really make it to say that, hey, you should go out and get a $600 flashlight. But it is nice to have, and it is something that I would recommend almost everybody have on your rifle is a flashlight, not just for PID, but for utility purposes, right? And then I have the dual switch right here, The one that's got the nipple or the whatever the bump right here is, that's for my white light. The one in the front is for my illuminator. That way I know if I feel the bump, the nipple, I double tap it, got light on or whatever I need to do, okay? And I'm running the Huxworks 556K flow through suppressor. There's gonna be a video that I'm gonna show at the end of this as to why I'm running this suppressor. All the gases now go forward, no more in your face. This is what I run. It's not a one size fits all setup, but for me, I have been running a variation of this exact setup for 2 decades. This particular weapon I've had for going on 4 years, set up exactly like this. The only thing that's changed is the suppressor and the light. But a variation of this Mark 18 is what I've been running for almost 2 decades. I like it, I recommend it, but ultimately, I recommend you training and becoming proficient with what you have. This is just what works for me.